Have you ever heard of this wild hotel in New York that played host to some of the greatest literary and artistic minds of its generation? Well, the Chelsea Hotel was such an icon, and it played host to so many great minds of literature. And I write about that in this week's Substack newsletter. The link to that newsletter in the bio, and I cover a lot of the different authors and books that made their origins in that great hotel. But for today, I want to share with you 3 great books that were written by authors who lived in the hotel. We'll start off nice and slow because the hotel had its share of darkness, and we'll start with Arthur Miller, who lived there in 1961 following his divorce with Marilyn Monroe. And so if you're gonna read one thing by Arthur Miller, I would suggest you read Death of a Salesman. It's his super duper star play. It was published before he lived at the Chelsea Hotel, but it's the most emblematic of Arthur Miller. And it's a look at American masculinity in the post-war euphoria and the capitalist system and how that drives the human male psyche. And it's beautiful and emotionally profound and really resonates. Absolutely loved it. The second book that I would recommend would be The Naked Lunch by William S. Burroughs. He was a real bad boy of beat literature, famously a massive junkie. He shot his wife while he was high, wrote some incredible poetry and novels that were all about drugs and hallucinations and so on. And The Naked Lunch is the ultimate William Burroughs book to read that takes place on multiple levels of reality. There's drugs everywhere. It's super 50s gritty. And it was remade into a great movie by David Cronenberg in the early 90s. Worth watching. And then finally, the third book that I would recommend, I haven't actually read. It's the book Just Kids by Patti Smith. But I recommend it because if I had $1 for every time somebody has told me this is such a great book, I'd be on a yacht right now. So there's a book by this great punk artist, Patti Smith. It's about her life and her inspirations and how she lived her life in a really free and wild way. And that's very emblematic of the vibe and the spirit of the Chelsea Hotel. Those are my recommendations for 3 great books by authors who lived at the Chelsea Hotel. Don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments. And in the meantime, keep reading. Thanks a lot. Bye.